Good morning, my dear students. I am Ramchandra Rao, Faculty of Geology, Srimati Barla Subbalakshmi Degree College, Rajanagaram. Okay, my dear students, today I want to go for teach for BSc Geology for third semester, Unit 1 Cytology. Okay, good morning, everybody. What is cytology? The study of the structure and functions of the cell is known as a cytology. Study of the structure of the cell, and the structure and functions of the cell, which we can going to study, is known as a cytology. Actually, the cytology is a Greek word, and which means the cytology, kaitos. Kaitos means hollow vessel or cell, and logos means to discourse or to study. Logos means to study. The hollow vessel or cell study is known as a cytology. The cytology deals with the morphological, biochemical, physiological, pathological, developmental, genetical and evolutionary aspect of the cell, which means the cytology deals with the internal and the external and biochemical and physiological, pathological, developmental and genetical and evolutionary aspect of the cell. That means we study all the aspects of the cell in the cell biology or cytology. With the invention of the electron microscope, that means after the invention of the electron microscope, a thorough revolution has been take place in the field of cytology. Okay. Up to the invention of the electron microscope, there is no studies are going on, and we don't know about the complete knowledge of the cell. But after the invention of the electron microscope, it is possible to learn or to study about the cell, and now it has become a possible to study the cell at a molecular level, and it's known as a molecular biology. The electron microscope, after inventing the electron microscope, it is very easy to us. It is very easy to scientists to work and to study about the cell at molecular level. Actually, now we go for what is the definition? What is the definition of the cytology? The study of structural, biochemical, developmental, hereditary aspects of the cell is known as a cytology. In the cytology, just we can study the structural and functional units of the cell is known as a cytology. On the other hand, we can define the cytology as The study of structural, biochemical, developmental, and hereditary aspects of the cell is defined as a cytology. Okay, before going to a elaborate discussion about the cytology, just we have to go for the history. What is the history of the cytology? John Swammerdam, John, Jan Swammerdam, John Swammerdam observed the erythrocytes of the frog and described the cell for the first time in the year 1658. 1658. John Swammerdam observed the erythrocytes. The erythrocytes means everyone aware of erythrocytes, RBC, red blood cells. In other words, named to as a erythrocytes. Erythrocytes are RBC. Just he observed the erythrocytes of frog and described the cell for the first time in the year 1658. Just the Jan Swammerdam, just he named the first time in the year of 1658. Just he observed the erythrocytes or RBC and just he described that is the cell. However, the credit of coining the word cell goes to Robert Hooke, an English botanist, Mr. Robert Hooke, and however the credit of coining the word cell goes to Robert Hooke, an English botanist. The first, just he naming the cell by Robert Hooke as an English botanist. Hooke examined a slice of cork under a crude compound microscope and found several honeycomb-like components, each compartment being bounded by a firm wall. He named these components as cells. The cell is cellula is a little room or hollow space. In fact, Hooke was able to see only its thickened cellulose cell walls, but not the cell organoids. The first time, Robert Hooke examined a slice of cork under the crude compound microscope, and just he found several honeycomb-like compartments, and each compartment is being bounded by a firm wall. He named these compartments as cells. In fact, the Hooke was able to see only its thickened cellulose cell walls, but not the cell organoids. Then Marcello Malfighi, an Italian anatomist, and Nahmian Grieve, English physician, used the terms sacs, vesicles, and utricles for the minute spaces bounded by cellulose walls in the different flats. The Malfighi is regarded as the father of microscopic anatomy for his contribution to the study of animal tissue. You know, Marcello Malfighi is an Italian anatomist, and he is regarded as the father of microscopic anatomy for his contribution to the study of animal tissues. Marcello Malfighi actually just used the microscopic anatomy for his contribution, and just study on the animal tissues. It was Antony von Leeuwenhoek who discovered the free cells, the animalcules, infusoria, etc. Then later on, Antony von Leeuwenhoek he discovered the free cells, the animalcules, infusoria, etc. Actually, up to then, just what is the introduction of cytology and definition of the cytology and history of the cytology. Then we go for discuss about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. The cells can be actually grouped into two types. The one is prokaryotic cells and the other one is eukaryotic cells. The prokaryotic cells are generally without nucleus, the basing on the presence of the nucleus. The cells can be divided into two types. Those cells who have a nucleus is known as a eukaryotic cells. The basing on the existence of the nucleus, just we can divide the cells into two types. One is prokaryotic and the other one is eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cell does not have any nucleus in the cytoplasm. Okay, my dear students, now we go for discuss about the cell theory. Cell theory refers to the idea that cells are the basic units of a structure and function in all the living things. The cell theory refers that cells are the basic units of the structural and functional units of the organism. That means without the cells there is no structure to the animals. Without the function there is no we cannot imagine the structure of the organism. So the cell theory refers to that the cells are the basic units for both the structural and functional units of the organism. The development of this theory was made possible by the invention of the microscope and its utility in research work. Actually, there is a reason to develop the cell theory is the invention of the microscope. Without the microscope, we can't see the internal structure of the cells. So that the development of this theory, that means the cell theory development is basing on the development of the cell theory was made possible by the invention of the microscope and its utility in research work. Cell theory formed the basis for foundation of the biology. The cell was first named by Robert Hooke in the year 1665. In the year 1665, the Robert Hooke is named the first time the cell. The cell was named by the Robert Hooke in 1665 as the first time. After his identification of the cell is in the cork tissues. The cell doctrine. The next subtopic is cell doctrine. The cell theory was proposed by a German botanist, Schleiden, in 1838 year, and the German zoologist Schwann in 1839 independently. The cell theory was proposed. Actually, the 4 or 5 points are there in the cell theory. Just the cell is the structural and functional unit of the organism, and as for the Schleiden and Schwann, just they proposed the cell theory by individual. They described the cell as a unit of structural and functional biological unit. The cell forms the building blocks in the organization of the body, and it generates from the free existing cells. As for the cell theory, there is two more points are there. The cell theory states that all known living things are made up of cells. All the knowing living things. That means all the living things and all the living animals and all the living creatures in the nature, and they are made up of cells. Without cells there is no living organism, and without cells there is no non-living organisms. Both the living and non-living organisms, they have made up of cells. These cells are structural and functional units of all the living things, and all the cells come pre-existing cells by the division. All the cells come from the pre-existing cells by the division. Cells contains hereditary information passing on from one cell to cell during the cell division. Cell contains every cell contains so many cell organelles, and the cell mainly contains the eukaryotic cells that contains the nucleus. The nucleus have the DNA and RNA as nucleic acids, and the cell contains hereditary information. That means the genes passes the characters from parents to their offsprings, and mother cells to their daughter cells. So the cells contains hereditary information, and which passes on from one cell to other cell during the cell division. The next point is all cells are basically the same in chemical composition. All the cells in the organism, all the cells in the body of the organism, the cells are basically the same in chemical composition. All cells are same chemical composition, and all energy flow of life occurs within the cells. All energy flow of life occurs within the cell. Okay, these are the some of the cell theory stating the some of the points. Okay, my dear students. Up to so far, we discuss about the cell, what is cell, and what is cytology, and the definition of the cytology, and history of the cytology, and the types of the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and the cell theory, and who proposed the cell theory, and what states the cell theory to us. Now we discuss about the ultra structure of animal cell. The ultra structure of animal cell. All the animal cells are essentially eukaryotic with a distinct nucleus in which are present chromosomes. When you observe the structure of animal cell, just we can found a distinct nucleus, in all the animal cells. All the animal cells are essentially eukaryotic. What we just learned earlier, the eukaryotic cells have a distinct nucleus. Actually, the cells are two types basing on the presence of nucleus. One is prokaryotic and the other is eukaryotic. So the eukaryotic cells have a distinct nucleus in which are present chromosomes. The nucleus have a chromosomes. So what is definition? What is definition of the cell? Loewy, 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 and Siekevitz, Siekevitz, Siekevitz defined the cell as a unit of organism delimited by a plasma membrane and capable of self-reproduction. As per the Siekevitz and Loewy, the cell can be defined as the unit of organisms and which was delimited by a plasma membrane and capable of a self-reproduction. Classification of organisms. Basing on the existence of the nucleus, cells are broadly classified into two types, the prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells have a nuclear material, DNA or RNA. For example, in bacteria, if you take a bacteria, the bacteria come under to the example for the prokaryotic cells. That means the bacteria does not have any nucleus, but they have a nuclear material. The DNA or RNA. Eukaryotic cells possess definite nucleus with well-organized nuclear membrane. For example, if you take the plant or animal cell, they have a definite nucleus with well-organized nuclear membrane. We can classify the cells are basing on depending on a number of cells. Animal kingdom is basically classified into protozoa and metazoa. protozoan body is made up of a single cell. This single cell is able to carry out all the metabolic activities such as nutrition, excretion, reproduction, respiration, like that. The body of metazoans is made up of numerous cells. These are called the multicellular organisms. Actually, basing on the existence of the nucleus, the cells can be divided into the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. The cells which have a nucleus is commanded to the eukaryotic cells, for example, animal and plant cells, and the cells which does not have the nucleus is commanded to the prokaryotic cells, for example, bacteria. Depending on the number of cells in the animal, just we can categorize all the basing on the number of cells in their bodies is classified into the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom is basically classified into the protozoa and metazoa. Protozoa, pro means first, the first living animal bodies is a protozoans. The protozoan organisms body have a single cell. This single cell present in the protozoans, they can able to carry out all the metabolic activities. That means the single cell is capable in the protozoans. They can carry out all the metabolic activities such as nutrition, excretion, digestion, circulation, respiration, reproduction, etc. The body of metazoans. The metazoan, java means cell, meta means number of cells that body is consisting. The body of metazoans is made up of numerous cells. These are called the multicellular organisms, in which the cells are aggregated into tissues and organs. Moreover, in the multicellular organisms, the cells and organs exhibit a certain degree of division of labor to carry out the various metabolic activities. The cells, the multicellular organisms, that means in the multicellular organisms, the multicellular organism have the different kinds of cells, and which carry out the different functions and different various metabolic activities. For example, in the heart is a one kind of organ. The cells present in the heart is the capable of to contract and for example, if you take the heart or different parts of the body in the multicellular organisms, they have a different kinds of cells present in the different parts of the multicellular organisms. They carry out the different exhibit certain degree of division of labor and to carry out the various metabolic activities. Now just in this chapter, just I will close this lesson, and you have to just I have go for to give the homework for you. And what is cell theory, and what are the points are present in the cell theory. The second question is, what is the ultra structure of the animal cell? Just write a small notes on the ultra structure of the animal cell. Thank you.